Good morning, neighbors. We're going to sing a song written by Rolf Stroman from Verdal, Norway. God's word is written for you and for me to learn to keep away from sin. And if you will learn to keep away from iniquity, Jesus will open up the gate and let you in. So be sure you have that revelated word within your heart, so you don't miss the things that happen today. Don't look back, don't look at flesh, but look to Jesus and pray that you'll be ready when He's coming in the sky. There's more than one who's really tried to build an altar before God, and they look ready in the eyes of man. But God didn't see their sacrifice, even though they sought Him with tears. It's a revelation you have to have within your heart. So be sure you have that revelated word within your heart, so you don't miss the thing that happened today. Don't look back, don't look at flesh, but look to Jesus and pray that you'll be ready when He's coming in the sky. Look at Esau and Jacob and Abel and Cain, how they all sought for favor before God. But only him that has the word revelated within his heart receives the blessing from the Almighty's hand. So be sure you have that revelated word within your heart, so you don't miss the thing that happened today. Don't look back, don't look at flesh, but look to Jesus and pray that you'll be ready when He's coming in the sky. It's a beautiful song, and I've liked it ever since I was young. I didn't always understand it. Maybe as you get older, you understand things a little bit better, but I thought we'd read in in Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. It's talking about a conflict between our spirit and with our old nature, the carnal man. For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can be. So when I'm reading that, I think, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. You know, if we're spiritually minded, hang on, I gotta pull that down. It's binding me. If we're spiritually minded, we'll you have an understanding. You see that things go deeper than just what you're seeing on the outside. It's kind of like someone who's afraid. They can appear very angry, very mean. It's like an animal. If you corner them, they become very angry. They don't really understand why they're angry. A person, but they can seem like, what's wrong with them? But then you realize it's because they're afraid. They don't understand spiritual things. They don't understand what's happening in this world, so they're all trying to fix this world, but they're just becoming more and more angry because they really can't understand. They don't have an understanding of the scriptures. They don't understand things that God is allowing behind the curtains. And because they're just carnally minded, they can only see on the outside. And so many people in church, they gossip and backbite. They get so angry with each other and all these things. They begin to accuse one another because they want some kind of ideal of that they have control, or that they're respected, or that they're honored. And that's all natural things. But he's saying, if you're spiritually minded, you can have peace because you will recognize that what's behind this person, they're damaged. So then Jesus, he could show such love and kindness. Now he saw that the Pharisees, they were corrupted and they were destroying people, and he became very serious with them. But these people too, he could recognize, because he ate with them as well. He wanted to help Nicodemus and all these and the different leaders and have everybody understand, poor and rich. And he could see, though, because he was Jesus, he could see that these people, they want control, or they want this, they want that. And it can make us very nervous, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can be. So then, those who are in the flesh cannot please God. But you are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now, if anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. So we need to have that Spirit. We need to listen to it and have it explained, instead of us just blowing up and being upset all the time, because we can have a peaceful life. And it's interesting, when Brother Rolf Stroman wrote this, he said, look at Esau and Jacob and Abel and Cain. They are types of a carnal man and a spiritual man. Esau was willing to sell out his birthright, the blessing. He was the firstborn. He was an heir to this promise, but because he's so hungry, he's willing to sell it for just a little bit of food to his brother Jacob. But Jacob said he coveted it. He wanted that. It's a type of the carnal man. He'll sell out everything for a moment's pleasure. And you'll see that in marriages, and or just marriages that are in trouble, really, and adulteries. I'm willing to sell out for this moment of pleasure, this blessed marriage, this marriage that I have. And then it says, and Abel and Cain. Cain offered what he thought was a beautiful sacrifice, and it really probably was to the natural. Probably very beautiful, all these fruits and vegetables, beautiful. He probably brought the best he had. But God honored Abel's sacrifice because Abel was spiritual, and he recognized it's not in the beauty, it's in the death, and in the sin and death and blood. I have to offer this sacrifice. But what happens to both? Esau, after he sells out his birthright, becomes very angry with Jacob and wants to kill him. He wants to destroy him. And Cain, we know the story of Cain. Cain actually kills Abel because he's so angry, because he cannot grasp these things, because they were Esau and Cain were not spiritual men, but Jacob and Abel were. And so let us look throughout this day, when you look at other people, let's look through a spiritually minded rather than carnally minded. The things and the events in this world, don't get so angry at them. God is in control. If you're spiritually minded, you say these are things must come to pass, and these things must go. And though it's not easy to live with it and see it all, let us keep our minds on heavenly things. So God bless you all and be with you all today.